I became stagnant and I literally lost myself, bro. So I'm just going to be sharing a story, and it's quite saddening actually, but it's not too bad. But pretty much I'm just going to be telling you guys about how I was so locked in. I had crazy discipline, and once I became stagnant, once I wasn't trying to achieve something, once I lost focus of my actual goals, I did a complete 180. Like you can literally ask any of my friends, any of my family members, and they would literally tell you it's like I became a totally different person once I stopped trying to achieve what I wanted to achieve, or if I were to actually lose what I deeply, deeply wanted. So it's always important to stay strong on what you want and actually determine what you want and how to actually do that. So this video I'm going to be sharing what I've experienced with stagnancy and stuff like that, and how to actually get out of it. So basically, back in 2024, I think it was near October or September, I looked like this. And I still was doing good, but in terms of my health, in terms of how I felt, it was bad, dude. So like I had a relationship, and I was staying up till like 5 in the fucking morning with this chick, and I was not prioritizing my health. I was not prioritizing my sleep. I was not prioritizing my diet, or really anything for that matter. And I wasn't working out. So I seriously lost a fuck ton of muscle, dude. Like a fuck ton. And eventually the relationship broke down, got destroyed. I can go into that in different videos and the things I've learned from that. But pretty much it was burnt to the ground. And from then on, I decided, I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure out what I want, and I'm never going to stop until I get there. So simply just because of the pain, because of the heartache and stuff, instead of going towards drugs, going towards women, going towards like parties and shit like that, although it's fun, I knew deep down that would not help me at all. So I simply just switched to bettering myself, trying to build my YouTube channel, trying to get my health in together. And I wanted to get all of this situated. So I locked the fuck in, dude. One of the main things I'm proud of is, I know it's like a joke. Everyone says no fap, semen retention, shit like that. But I literally was on that shit for almost a year. I think I approached like 8 months, and I'll share about what happened later on throughout the video. But I was locked the fuck in, bro. I would wake up, I would do my sprints. I did a 1-day fast every fucking week, and everything was going great. And my channel, basically I do like trying to do passive income and shit. So it was going like this. And then I started getting hella locked in by like month 6 or like month 7 of semen retention. I wasn't even going outside. I was waking up, I was working. Looking back, I would not have done that, since I simply lost all frame. I couldn't even talk to anyone, even though I was jacked as fuck. This is literally what I look like, guys. This is literally what I look like. It was crazy. And although I look not too bad now, I also have a pump, and I just got done working out. So I have lost so much muscle, guys. It is not even funny. But let me get to that later. But basically, I was locked in. I was doing hella good. My channel was going up. It was making me around like $25 a day. And at that route, or at that time, if it kept progressing the way it was, I would literally reach like $4,000 a month in like a 2-month time period. So that would all be passive. That would all be kept into my pocket. And then something unfortunate happened. My channel got demonetized. I was 18 years old, about to turn 19, and I lived with my parents, and it just all hit me so hard. I lived with my parents. I had a good physique, but what does that really show if I'm not making any money? I had no job. I was just living with my parents, and I had nothing going for me. And I'm someone who loves to progress in life. I literally got my bachelor's at 15 and went to college at 12 years old, or like 11 or some shit. Like, my entire life goal was to be ahead of everyone, to be able to reach the goals that I want, to be able to provide for my family, and all this shit. And now I'm 19 years old, or 18 and a half, and I have nothing going for me, bro. I had nothing. My channel got destroyed and everything was taken from me over fucking night. It was overnight, dude. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck has happened to my life? Like, what is the point? You know, I've locked in. I've done this for 8 months. And it's like, it's just all over. And one more thing I forgot to mention before that, I actually spent $10,000 for a program. And it was like, it was borderline a scam. And I just basically lost my money. So I've lost 10K. I have like nothing in investments at this point. I had no job, and I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck do I do? So that's when I decided to move here. So my dad lives here. I'm not gonna say the state because I don't want to be doxxed. And my mom lives in the other state. So I flew down to here, and I got a job that I used to work right when I graduated college at 15. I got the same job. I just talked to my boss. I'm like, hey, here's the situation. Can I work for you? And he said, yes. So I came down here with the sole focus, guys, keep this in mind, of making money. I was still locked in. And then boom. I started hanging out with my friends, which I'm not blaming it on them, but I was hanging out with my friends. And I low-key lost myself, dude. I low-key lost myself. I went from, I need to make money, I need to build the life I want. Because my main goal was this. My main goal was to find a godly woman. That was my main goal. I really wanted that. I wanted to make a fuck ton of money. And I wanted to make an impact on this generation of men. Those are my 3 goals, dude. Obviously have kids, but that's in the future. These are my 3 goals. And I lost everything, dude, when I came here. I recently checked my ADP. And this year to date, I made $15,000 from my job. You want to know how much I have in my bank account? $1,000. $1,000, dude. So, how did I get here? It's simply because of the actions you take every day. So, when I came here, I was still locked in. And then I jerked off. And then I failed my diet. And once you do it once, bro, it becomes so much harder to do it again, especially for me. I think I have ADHD. But yeah, basically, I just went downhill. I went so downhill, and I wasn't journaling anymore. I wasn't set on my priorities. I didn't even know what the fuck I wanted to do, like at all, dude, at all. And I started cold approaching, which, looking back, I'm glad I cold approached. I do think that's something every man should do. But I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I got very, what can I say? I got very, not manipulated, but I turned against what I truly wanted simply because I didn't know what I wanted and I lost that. And I started pursuing things that my friends valued. For example, one of my friends was like, yeah, I think it's important to make out with a fuck ton of girls. And that's what I was going to do. I was going to make out with a bunch of fucking girls, dude. And that's just insane. I like lost myself because I wasn't centered on who I was and what I wanted. So thank goodness I did not actually end up doing that. But I literally ended up, while I was hanging out, while I was talking to people, which I do think that was good. I definitely did enjoy, like, going outside, talking to people. But in terms of failing my diet, in terms of not sleeping, in terms of staying up till God knows when watching YouTube, like, I really just lost myself. And from the goals I wanted before to what I was actually doing was polar opposites. I spent $14,000. How the fuck is that possible, dude? How the fuck is that possible? So, yeah, all this happened, and then I met this girl. And it was like amazing. Like me and my friend we were at the mall, and then she approached us, and she knew my friend. Like they were like acquaintances, I guess, from way back then. And I was just kind of like, I was just like attracted to this girl, not even just physically, but also like energy wise. Like I was on momentum. I was like approaching that day, talking to women, and she just had so much energy. She had so much frame, if you guys know what that means. And we just instantly clicked. And then I stayed up till 7 in the morning with her, and I literally went to her hot tub and shit like that. And I found out she was a Christian, and she was trying to pursue a relationship with God and all this shit. And we basically just built up that connection. We hung out like literally every day till like 5 in the morning. She'd like come over, we'd just hang out and hang out and hang out and hang out. And then she like wanted to date. And then I just remember telling her, I'm like, no, I have to like make out with a bunch of girls or some shit. Like that's what I said. And I'm like, looking back, I'm like, what the fuck? Like what the actual fuck, dude? Like I had this, my entire thing was finding like a God-fearing woman, someone I would trust, someone who I'd want to raise my kids with. And she literally is that, you know? And then I was like, yeah, no, I have to like make out with girls. And I basically, in that moment, I didn't realize this then, but I like lost myself, dude. That was complete and utter destruction. And it just all went downhill. I started overthinking again. I used to have crazy, I guess, obsessive thoughts, I guess you could say that. It like all came back and I started spiraling, bro. And then pretty much, I told the girl, I'm like, yeah, like we can go out on dates, but I'll be going out on dates with other girls. And which was really, really fucked up if you really think about it. And then after thinking about it, she's like, no, like, Elijah, I think it's best for us not to be friends. So after that, I was fucked, dude. I was fucked. And then I was just praying, and I was thinking about like just like, because it was either make it official and like we're just together and shit, or we date exclusively, or just let her go. And it was one or the other, and it was time for me to like really figure out what the fuck happened, you know? Because I wasn't always like that about making out with girls and shit like that. I was always about cold approaching. I did always want to do that, and I did always want to go out on dates. But in regards to all this shit about like just making out or like the lustful activities, I never really was about that, you know? I don't think you really need external validation. You get enough when like someone like checks you out or some shit. Like I don't think that's really necessary. But pretty much after that, I just really prayed. And I'll actually show you guys. When I was journaling that day, I was journaling. And keep in mind, I didn't journal for a fucking while, dude. And here, I'll tell you what happened, dude. So this was... Alright guys, I'll say it. I didn't journal in a while, and this is what I wrote. I was just reading back some of my things I wrote in my journal. And basically I said, I'm like, Jesus, if it's your will, let it be done. I just want a close, attractive female friend again. Like, bro, why am I begging like this? God is within me. I will attract this into my life. Lord, thank you in advance if I've already got this done. And pretty much I was just talking about here, look, I've never found a girl I think is marriage material. And basically, I'm just pretty much begging God for him to like put someone like that into my life. And I got it. I literally got what I wanted. And I didn't even know it. Like I didn't even know it. I prayed endlessly for someone like that to go into my life. And I had it. And then I was going to give it all up just for this random thing my friend said. Like, if you truly do, like, look into it, like, you'll just realize, like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And I wasn't even enjoying my life, dude. Like, I was out hanging out with friends till God knows when, bro. We'd be in this place we go to, and it's just, everyone's just drunk, everyone's on drugs. And then it's like such a dangerous situation. You could just feel the energy, like the negative energy, everything just like pulling you down. It's so weird how to say it, but you guys have probably experienced that before. But I was fucked. And then my family came into town to visit me. And this was when I was still figuring everything out with the girl and shit. And basically, they're like, Elijah, like, what are you doing? You're like hurting this girl. And it's like, just let her go, bro. Just let her go. If you truly do just want to go out and fuck around, like go to parties and shit like that, like just do that and let her go. But yeah, all that happened just for everything to come at a peak, dude. It was all at a peak. And I just remember looking at my journal. I'm like, holy fuck. Like, this is it. God answered my prayers, you know? God answered my prayers. And me and the girl, we clicked. Like, dude, we can, like, talk for fucking hours, bro. It's crazy. And it's like, I'm like, damn, I found it. I found the person I, like, want to be with and shit. And I was just going to give it all up, dude. Just because I wasn't locked in. If I truly was, like, every day journaling, if I was praying, if I was reading my Bible, and I was actually, like, doing my diet and shit, I do not think I would have even thought about that whatsoever. Like, thought about just going out, fucking around. I probably would have still cold approached. But, like, the reasoning behind it wouldn't be that. So, yeah, so it all peaked. And I just decided, I'm going to be with this girl. You know, I want to give it a shot, because I would literally die if I decide to just go out on dates and, like, all this shit. Like, no matter what, I would think in the back of my mind, being like, I wonder if it would have worked out with this person, you know? And what's ironic is the friend that actually, I guess not persuaded me, but kind of changed my mindset a little bit, in a negative way. It wasn't intentional, but about me wanting to, like, go out, make out with girls, and just have fun. Pretty much, he was the one that told me, he's like, yeah, Elijah, like, I know you didn't do that, but it doesn't really matter, you know? And I was just thinking, I'm like, bro, you're the one who said it was important, you know? You're the one that said it was important. But he basically said, he's all like, you know you can. You know you can go out and do that. You know you could have that opportunity. And it's like, will you, like, have that opportunity, though, to, like, have another, like, godly, wifey woman, you know? And I don't know if I would have, to be honest. But I just decided, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be with her. And I'm a little bit locked in now, guys. I'm struggling with, like, sleep and all this shit. And, like, just, like, no fap and everything all around. But it just showed me, dude, if you lose sight on what you actually want, like, you are genuinely fucked, dude. You are so fucked. You're just gonna be like a leaf in the wind, and life will just blow you around to whoever it sees fit, I guess. So, what I recommend you guys do, it's truly, like, sit down with your thoughts and think, what kind of difference do you guys want to make on this earth? What does it take to get there? Do you want the experiences? Just going to parties, doing those things? If you do it. Like, genuinely do it. But feel, like, at peace with what you make, you know? Last thing you want is not knowing what you want, and you're just doing a fuck ton of things to try to reach that, but you won't, because even if you did reach it, you don't know what you want. So it's like, good luck. But that's just the advice I give you. And another thing I just want to leave you guys with is although it seems like fun, I'm just saying, the more pleasure you experience now, that's not like healthy. Like obviously, if you're playing with your kids, you're just like enjoying life, you're going out in the sun and shit like that. But like that instant dopamine, doom scrolling, shit like that, parties in general, like the more you just do these things, the more pain you'll experience later. And it's the unfortunate reality. But when I was on momentum with this girl, and I truly do love being with this girl, I just wouldn't sleep. And I felt like shit after, dude. Like every time I'd say it's not worth it, bro. It's not worth it to engage in these short-term pleasures, all this shit. Obviously, I enjoyed hanging out with her, but I should never have like let it impact my health, let it impact my mission in life. So just a daily yap session. Holy shit, it was 21 minutes. What the fuck? That's about it, guys. That's the one thing I just want to leave you with. Keep in mind, it's like, as someone who's done it, it's not worth it, dude. You never feel fulfilled. And but if that's what you want, run up the experiences. But I'm just saying, figure out what you want, guys. Figure it out. And reflect on it daily. Like daily, reflect on it, know what you want and the person you want to be. Because unfortunately, one day when you're 20, you can't be like, yeah, by 20 I'll stop watching porn. By 20 I'll have my physique in check. It's really not like that. It's like you don't like think like, oh, by age 18 I'm just never gonna jerk off again, or I'm never gonna do this. Like you need to do the actions every day to be able to be that type of person in the future. But that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. And yeah, a little bit of a emotional roller coaster for me. But I hope you guys gained something out of it. And peace out.